What's up, world? Thanks for jumping in for another ride. Today, we're going to be checking out a 2023 Ford F-150 Tremor, and I'm really excited about this because this is actually one of my favorite packages that Ford has to offer with the F-150. This one is outfitted with a 3.5-liter twin-turbo EcoBoost engine, a 10-speed automatic transmission, and it is actually in Oxford White, which is one of my personal favorite colors, actually to the point to where we had actually ordered our GT500 in Oxford White with the Stripe Delete package, so that tells you that I really do like this color. Now, really quick, I need to do a couple of things. I need to thank you for clicking on this video, and this channel is up well over 100,000 views, and that is definitely not possible without you. So, the next thing that I really need, I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, hit that bell notification, hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed any of the content in this video or just enjoyed hanging out with us. Second thing is, I need to thank our friends over at Paul Murrey Ford in Kaufman, Texas for giving us access to this 2023 Ford Tremor to go ahead and check it out, do our personal evaluation on it. If you're looking for any sort of Ford vehicle sales, service, or parts, check out Paul Murrey Ford. Still has a family-friendly atmosphere where you are definitely not just a number, so please do me a favor, check out Paul Murrey Ford in Kaufman, Texas. Now, let's dive off into this 2023 Ford Tremor. When I think about looking at a new vehicle, one of the first things that I think about is what is actually the largest component on the vehicle, and that is the paint. I have to tell you that paint has come a long way from factory manufacturers in the last 20 years. That it is actually unbelievable. If you look down the side of this truck, there is absolutely no orange peel, no imperfections, anything. And anyone that has been around the car market for any length of time knows that oftentimes on older vehicles, orange peel was the norm for whatever reason. But this Oxford White on this 2023 is absolutely stunning. So I'm going to try to get as detailed a side shot as I can. That paint is absolutely unbelievable. Working our way down the side, I have heard this debated multiple times about what color this actually is. I feel like it's actually a gold color. So you have the F-150 Tremor badge and with non-functional vents, and the trim is in gold. As we work our way around, you can see the dealer sticker there, and this truck as tested is $68,000. Now, one thing specific to the Tremor is it does have Tremor specific shocks, and it does have a raised suspension compared to a standard 4x4 or FX4. The Tremor does share the same running boards with the F-150 Raptor. This F-150 Tremor is equipped with a sliding back glass, and we also have the Tremor badges on the back and the tailgate. Now, a couple of things that are specific to the F-150 Tremor are the dual exhaust cutouts on the rear, and it does have rear tow hooks or recovery hooks. And on the bottom side, you can see the Tremor specific shocks with the Tremor logo. And on the tailgate, you can see the cargo light and the backup camera. And the tailgate is keyless entry, so we're just going to push 2 times. So this 2023 Ford F-150 Tremor is outfitted with the bed utility package, which includes the cargo lighting, the box link cargo hold down. Now, this particular F-150 Tremor is equipped with the factory 4 spray and bed liner. Additionally, you get the standard 120 volt outlet with 400 watt capability, and you get the cargo lighting package. And I do like Ford's box link tie down connections. On our 2016, we actually have the same box link cargo tie downs, and we have had those installed since 2016. And once we installed, we've actually never uninstalled them. So we use them all the time, especially for colonized outdoor activities. So I do like the box link cargo tie downs. Work surface for this tailgate does include the seat clamps. So you get one on the driver's side and one on the passenger side. And this truck actually includes what I passionately refer to as the pawpaw step. And I actually really do like these. I actually owned a 2012 F-150 with a very similar setup. I absolutely love those steps. So if you have a higher vehicle like this, especially with the Tremor having a 2-inch lift, the step is actually a really nice feature. So I do think these features offer a lot of utility for someone that's either going to be using this as any sort of a work vehicle, or more importantly, since it is a Tremor, any sort of outdoor activity. So just as an example, for someone like Colin and I doing a lot of camping, hiking, bow hunting, things like that, I think the utility of having something like that is absolutely useful. As far as additional utility, there is almost limitless options out there that you can use for the bed of this truck, from caps, cargo covers, to slide out racks, to additional bed coverings. What I would personally do with this truck, I would put a power retracting bed cover on top of it, and I would absolutely take advantage of the spray and bed liner. I would load this thing down with bow hunting equipment, outdoor equipment, whatever it may be, and I would probably be prepared to stay out for a week or two and not come back to civilization. So I really do like the bed utility package that Ford has to offer with this trimmer. Just above the bed of the 2023 Ford F150 Tremor, we have the third brake light, and additionally we have cargo lighting on each side of that brake light. Now, all of the 2023 Ford F150s come standard with the easy fill capless system to fill up on gasoline. Now, all trimmers come standard with a 275/70 18-inch General Grabber all-terrain tire, and all trimmers come standard with the gray powder coat aluminum wheels in an 18-inch by 8.5-inch size. One thing that I do want to point out is the Ford F-150s do not come factory with the rear fender liners unless they are optioned with that specifically. I just want to remind everyone of that if you are making a specific order for a truck, to make sure that you check off getting rear fender liners, or you can pick those up aftermarket from a couple of different companies. Just want to note that because most of these trucks do not come equipped with them. So if you're looking to purchase a new F-150, keep that in mind. The trimmer is equipped with the blind spot sensing in the mirrors, and we do have the perimeter lighting as well as the side facing cameras to assist with that 360 view. As we make our way back around to the passenger side, you can see that we have the standard AM/FM radio antenna. We have the blacked out mirror caps. Now, one of the things that I personally like about the Ford truck options, and again, this is just totally a personal preference, I like the perimeter lighting. And the reason why I say that is oftentimes when Colin and I are going out bow hunting, or if we're going out for a total archery challenge type event, a lot of times we leave very early in the morning and light is very limited. And so right now with our truck, with the system that we use, we just have a cargo light, and then we also have the integrated cargo bed cover light that is an LED, and it puts off some decent light. But honestly, these late model trucks with the perimeter lighting, they are absolutely fantastic. You can get whatever gear you need, you can get everything arranged, and you can go ahead and head out on whatever activity it is. You don't have to fumble around, look for a light, and everything is integrated right into the truck, and most of it is actually controllable from the key fob or from the center display screen. Now, the trimmer does come equipped with a specific hood with simulated vents and a cowl in the middle, and there are a couple of other models that come equipped with this, one being the Ford F-150 if you order it with the blackout package. So you can get this hood, and it doesn't specifically have to be the trimmer, but this is the hood you will get if you option for the trimmer package. Now, up front we have the high and low beam LED headlights with the LED wraparound and the LED fog lights. Now, I really do like this look, especially whenever you compare it to like my 2016, and I have upgraded my fog lights, but I really like the fact that these come equipped with the factory LED headlights down in the bumper. I think it's a great addition. I really think that Ford has gone all out to make this a really nice integrated package. Now, again, specific to the trimmer package is you do get that gold ring across the blacked out grille. Now, also specific to the trimmer, down below the bumper, we have orange tow hooks, where most of them are either the chrome option or a painted black option. These actually get the same color, where the back is the black, up front we get the gold. And if you're very familiar with some of the Ford F-150 packages, you may notice that there is actually no air dam on the front below the bumper on this truck, that this actually gets an additional skid plate just below the bumper to protect the suspension for any off-road activity. And I really like the way this looks. And personally, I wish this was an option on other Ford F-150 packages. I really like the functional aspect of the lower skid plate. So standard on the 2023 Ford F-150 Tremor is the 3.5 liter EcoBoost twin turbocharged engine, and that is what this one is equipped with. Now in 2023, the 5.0 liter Coyote V8 engine did become an available option for the Tremor package. This, however, is equipped with the standard 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine, producing 400 horsepower and 500 foot-pounds of torque. Now, I really do like this twin turbo setup, especially for the weight savings, and for different applications, I would probably recommend different engines, but the 3.5 liter has proven extremely reliable and extremely versatile, and I would have absolutely no issues utilizing this 3.5 liter. I really like it. For me personally, I would probably make a couple of aftermarket upgrades to this. Now, as I always say with aftermarket upgrades and changes, that is a completely personal choice. But I will say that 400 horsepower and 500 foot-pounds of torque is more than enough to get any job that you may need done out of a half-ton pickup truck. So I really do like the way this is equipped. And one of the things for me personally that I look for when I am looking to purchase a vehicle, especially something like a half-ton truck, is ease of personal maintenance. And the reason for that being is I'm probably going to do a lot of the maintenance myself, just as a cost saving, and additionally that way I can make sure going down the road I utilize good parts. Obviously, for anything specific, I'm probably going to use Paul Murrey Ford over in Kaufman, Texas for anything that I need to do. I have to say that the ease of the coolant, the ease of the oil filter dipstick, the ease of oil change, all that is relatively easy to access on this truck, and I really do like that fact about it because, again, as a personal preference, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of that stuff myself. Now, that's something that is going to be completely a personal choice, so if you're just somebody that's going to take it to the dealership, it may not be something to consider. I just want to throw that out for anybody that's interested and doing some of that maintenance themselves. On this particular 2023 Ford F150 Tremor, you can see that we have the Tremor Low package, which means that we have the manual gauges. The High package, you would actually get a full digital readout display. We do have the 12-inch productivity screen, and obviously we still have the screen protector on there, so we are definitely not going to peel that off for the next owner. So beginning to the driver's left, you can see that we have the gold stitching specific to the Tremor in the door panel, and I really like these door panels. Me personally, I actually like these door panels a little better than the Lariat, but that is a completely personal choice. Now you can see from the logo on the door panel that this is actually equipped with the Bang & Olufsen audio system. Now this is the 8-speaker system that is equipped with 7 speakers and then 1 subwoofer, making the 8th. This is not the Unleashed with the 18-speaker system, which is actually 17 speakers with a subwoofer. That particular Bang & Olufsen system is absolutely stunning. This comes with the 8-speaker system, which is absolutely no slouch whatsoever. So I'm a big fan of the Bang & Olufsen system, and it's very cool that Ford has integrated that into it. Over to the left knee of the driver is going to be the pedal adjust, electronic parking brake, and you can see that that gold trim continues alongside of the dash, and the dash has a gray metallic accent. You can see that we have that Bang & Olufsen system continuing in the middle. As we work our way down to the steering wheel, you can see that we have all of our cruise control functions over to the left. We have the audio down at the bottom, all of our basic menus over to the right. And then inside of the steering wheel, we have that gold Tremor stitching continuing all the way around. I really do like the size of Ford steering wheels. I've always preferred a thicker steering wheel for whatever reason, just a personal choice. So I really do like the steering wheels that are coming on the Ford trucks. As we work our way through all the basic controls on the dash readout, you can see that we have the park, reverse, neutral, drive, and manual options. We can see that we have our trip. We're going to go out of that. We have our trip fuel settings, multiple options there, and we have an economy coach, which I think is pretty cool on longer trips. We have our truck information, so we have our tire pressures, we have pitch and roll, we have off-road status, we have power distribution, we have engine information. That is where we would go to reset our engine oil life if we were going to be doing any of our own maintenance. But again, that is a completely personal choice, just something I would personally be looking out for. We also have our seatbelt information, and then we also have our tow haul information. One of the things that I think is fantastic now is the fact that we can get our trailer tire pressures displayed out right to the truck, so we don't have to have any third-party displays or any third-party software. We can do that right to the truck. We also have our trailer light status, our towing status. We have all of our navigation information. our typical phone connections, and this vehicle is equipped with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We have all of our audio settings, and then we can configure different gauge and speedometer readout information. And here we can configure our top display for our gauge settings. Here is the readout for speedometer for kilometers or miles per hour, border crossing information, and neutral tow. And back to the main menu. Now, as you can see, the different menus do have different background images, and as we start working our way through the different drive modes, you can see we can start in sport. We have economy, tow haul, normal, slippery. We have deep snow and sand. We have mud and ruts. And specific to the Raptor and the Tremor, we have rock crawl. So that is the different drive modes. And one of the cool things as we flip through these different drive modes is that we can actually get an image on our productivity screen of the surroundings so that we know what our approach angle is and what we are facing as far as terrain. So I think that is just an absolute super cool feature. And as you can see up above the speedometer right there, we have our differential lock and our off-road indicators indicating that we are in an optional drive mode. So we're going to turn this back to normal, and that is where we're going to leave that. So we're in progress, and there we go. So you can see the different background images there change as we scroll through the different menu options. So that is the basic cluster information for the 2023 Ford Tremor. And over to the right of that, we have our push to start. And just to the right of that, we have our Pro Trailer Backup Assist. And that is a feature from Ford to assist with backing up a trailer. Maybe it's a boat, maybe it's a work trailer, maybe it's a camper RV, something like that. But the Pro Trailer Assist is a really cool feature. Now, this particular Tremor does come equipped with an integrated trailer brake. Now, down here, we have our two-wheel drive high, we have our 4 high, and we have our 4 low. And for anyone not familiar, 2 high is what you're probably going to be using the biggest part of the time in this truck. Now, 4 high is going to be for just maybe driving on snow or a little bit of mud where you want to be cautious just to make sure that you don't get stuck or bogged down. 4-wheel drive low is what you're going to be using for any sort of really deep ruts, deep mud, adverse conditions, heavy towing in adverse conditions, anything like that. We also had the push to lock the rear differential. So we just push that. And you can see up there on the display, the rear differential is then locked in. We push it again. We are back to an open differential for a regular highway mode. Now, this truck does come equipped with the 12-inch productivity screen. Now, I have to say that I'm extremely impressed with the response of these 12-inch screens. Early on, it seemed like it'd take forever and you'd kind of tap on it and they just really wouldn't do much. These things have come so far. It is extremely impressive. You can barely touch it. You don't have to take your eyes off the road, and you can scroll through any of the information that you need. Now, if you'd like to see a full video on any of the Ford Sync 4 and the productivity screen information, I'd love to put together a full detailed video lining some of this out. So please do me a favor, leave a comment down below, and I'll see if I can put something together and we'll walk through all the details of this productivity screen. But honestly, it just does so much information, it would take the biggest part of this video just to walk through this screen. Now, down below that, I like the fact that Ford still integrates real rotary knobs and buttons with a lot of the controls. We have the standard audio controls. Down below that, we have all of the heating and cooling controls. Now, this truck does come equipped with the heated front passenger and driver seats. Now, it does not have the cooled ventilated seat. These are just the heated option, which is perfectly fine. To be honest, I wouldn't be too worried about it being cooled. Although I am in Texas, if I had it, I'd probably get spoiled to it pretty quick. Now, an additional option that can be added to the Tremor package is the wireless charging, which this one is not equipped with. It is just a standard tray. And over to the left in that tray, we have a USB and a USB-C. Just behind that, we have the gear shift. It does have that Tremor-specific gold stitching on the gear shift. You can see that we have our plus minus to manually shift. We have our M for manual mode for shifting. And this does have the option so that we can fold away that gear shift. We do have a storage compartment in the middle. And we have 2 cup holders. And I really do like the height of these consoles. And one of the things that I think is fantastic is the integrated work surface. I think this is absolutely fantastic. And I think it's useful for anyone that spends as much time in a truck as Colin and I do, whether it's traveling, whether it's work, whether it's personal, whatever it is. I think this is a fantastic option. The top of that armrest does also have that trimmer stitching. As we keep working our way over to the passenger side, you can see that we have a standard 12-volt outlet. You can see that we have a 120-volt, 400-watt outlet, just like in the bed of the truck. One of the things that I do like about the Ford storage compartments now is the fact that we can have a glove compartment storage up top and one down low. Now, for me personally, I think this is fantastic because I'm always getting things mixed up, like whether it's insurance cards or any kind of paper documents. And I know that a lot of people don't carry paper documents anymore, but I'm old school. I still like to have some paper documents. And so I think that you can put the paper documents in one compartment and things like some work gloves or maybe a couple tools, a additional tire gauge, something like that in the other, and you wouldn't have to worry about getting that stuff mixed up. I like to carry a few extra things, flashlight, pocket knife, whatever it is in the glove compartment, but that's just me. That's my personal thoughts. And so that we can fold away that gear shift. And as we work our way around to the passenger side, you can see same details as the driver's side with that Bang & Olufsen audio, the brushed aluminum look on those speaker covers. And I really like the looks of these seats. Now, if you do get the Tremor High package, you can get full leather interior. This is going to be the Tremor Low package, which will get Tremor specific stitching in the backs of the seats for the front driver's and passenger side. You'll also get Tremor specific stitching. And I really like this design in the middle. It kind of reminds me of a gray Digicam, to be honest. And then it is a really high grade material on the bolsters. As we work our way around, you can see that we have the tweeters for the audio system mounted in the pillars. This truck did come out of the Dearborn truck plant. Now, one of the things that I think is personally fantastic on the Tremor package as well as the Raptor package is the auxiliary switches. So if you wanted to add any lights, anything like that, you could add that there. You could also power things such as maybe a winch, something like that. I think that is an excellent addition. Sunglass holder. We have all of our controls for the dome lighting. Mounted in the headliner is our Bluetooth mic. This truck is equipped with the vanity mirrors, the driver and passenger side. And again, on the dash, that Tremor accent continues around. Now, I'm just over 5'10" and about 210 pounds, and you can see that I have an absolute ton of headroom in this thing, and I'm actually wearing a cap because it's really sunny and outside, and I don't want to get my bald head sunburned. So this thing has an absolute ton of room. So my personal thought is, if you were a family going out on any sort of a camping trip, a boondocking trip, anything like that, this thing would have absolutely plenty of room for everyone to ride comfortably and not make for a miserable time sitting on top of each other. So in the back seat, you can see that that Tremor specific stitching is also integrated into the door panels of the back seat. That Bang & Olufsen audio system is also integrated into the rear doors. Now, this is a new truck, so I didn't want to remove any of the contents of this truck. But you can see that we have Tremor specific floor mats, and I just left those laying in the back seat where they belong for the new owner. And as we work our way around, you can see that we have integrated map pockets, both driver and passenger side. We have a standard 12-volt output in the top side of the rear console. We have a USB and a USB-C, and we have that 120-volt, 400-watt outlet also in the back of the console, just as we do up front in the dash and in the bed of the truck. We do have integrated vents into the console, and I really like that. That reminds me of our 2018 Ford Edge Sport. I really like the vents in the back that are controllable in the back seat. There are 2 cup holders, and I like the fact that those cup holders are up high. Now, my personal truck, it is an XLT, so it's not quite optioned out like this truck would be. Plus, this truck is much newer, but the cup holders are way down low by the floor, and so I really like the fact that the cup holders have been moved up into the console. And again, that Tremor stitching continues all the way around the back sides of the seats. Up top, we do have integrated cargo lights, and we have coat hangers, and those are integrated on both sides. Now, that Tremor specific pattern does continue from the front all the way to the rear seat. That is the majority of the specifics of the interior of the 2023 Ford F-150 Tremor. Again, I'm just over 5'10" and about 210 pounds, and you can see in the back seat I have got more than enough room, so this is absolutely plenty of room in the back seat. I really like the idea of being able to utilize a truck like this for a little bit of everything, whether it's personal, whether it's professional, whether it's work, whether it's outdoor activity, whatever it is. So I really like the roominess of the back seat of this. And let's open these doors up and see what kind of cargo space that this 2023 Ford Tremor has to offer. Now, opening up, you can see in those Raptor steps, it has the Ford logo. Now, on the passenger side, there is a pull handle on the side of the seat. That is going to give you access to your emergency spare tire jack, as well as your emergency funnel in the event that you're out of gas or need to top off. On the passenger side rear seat, we do have a pull handle. We can raise up. And there is our power inverter that controls all of our 120 volt outlets. And this is pretty standard storage that Ford has been doing for a while now. You can see over on the driver's side is that box link equipment to be installed into the bed of the truck, and that will go with the owner of this new truck. Now, one of the things that I think is super cool that Ford has done to catch up to some of the competition as far as storage goes is the integrated storage box. I think this is a fantastic idea. I think that Ford trucks were kind of lacking for a while in the department of storage. So the fact that this can be set up and taken down in a relatively easy manner, I think is great. And the reason why I think that is, a lot of times whenever Colin and I are going bow hunting or something like that, we use Pelican bow cases, and they are exceptionally large. And a lot of times we may have the bed of the truck loaded up. We may not have any space in a camper if we're not pulling a trailer or anything. So what we will do is actually flip the seats up just like this, stack our bow cases. But with a system like this, you can just lay your storage compartment down flat, stack your cases in the floor. They're out of the weather. They're locked up. You're safe. You don't have to worry about theft. So I think that is a fantastic integration that Ford has done as far as storage goes. Now, one of the things that the Ford F-150 Tremor does come equipped with that is also standard equipment on the FX4 package is hill descent control. And so what that means is if you are on an incline, no matter what direction, if you're inclining up or you're going down, when you let off of the brake, it will actually stay on the brake until you touch the accelerator. And so what the purpose of that is to keep the vehicle from sliding down any sort of a muddy hill or any sort of a snowbank, anything like that. So hill descent control is standard equipment on the Ford F-150 Tremor. Now, obviously, we're not going to take this truck into any sort of treacherous off-road conditions because obviously this is a dealership vehicle and there is going to be an owner that expects to get a nice vehicle. So we're just kind of driving through the outskirts of the parking lot here in the small town dealership. And I really like the fact that we have an area like this to drive something like this. And I have to say the suspension on this thing is absolutely fantastic. And in just a few years, four-wheel drive suspension has come a long way. I remember back in my younger days, if you bought any sort of 3/4 ton, 1 ton four-wheel drive, the big joke amongst all the old guys was it was going to ride like a log wagon. And this thing is not that in any capacity. This thing rides fantastic for a four-wheel drive. Now, one of the things that I do want to point out with the F-150 Tremor is that it does have a 2-inch lift kit in front and back. And so if you have a standard height garage, that may be a concern. So before you look to purchase this or before you look to place your order, you may want to consider that. Go ahead and measure your garage. If you plan on keeping this thing inside in your garage, that way you can make sure that the clear height of the roof will go ahead and go inside of your garage, because I would hate for someone to purchase this, plan on keeping it nice, plan on keeping it in the garage, and then it not fit. That would be some serious trouble. So definitely with the 2-inch lift, go ahead and check your garage height if you plan on keeping this thing inside. Now, I promised you at the beginning of this video that I will let you know what my personal opinion is where this truck stacks up in the lineup of the Ford F-Series pickup trucks. So my personal opinion about this truck is that I think this truck fits the application for any all-around outdoorsman. I think this truck is nice enough. I think it rides well enough. I think it has enough options, enough amenities that you can take your family out to a movie. You can go to a nice restaurant. You cannot feel bad about parking this truck in any upscale restaurant. I think it kind of bridges a gap with an all-around package. And then if you're anything like my son and I, if you like doing any sort of hunting, any sort of camping, any sort of hiking, any outdoor activity, any sort of mild off-roading, whatever it may be, I think this truck fits that bill. I think any outdoorsman or any sportsman will be proud to own this truck. I think this truck would have a really long life, especially with that 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine. I would actually be really curious to hook up our camper RV behind this truck and do some towing with it and see how it performed, especially with that 2-inch lift kit. I would like to know what kind of fuel economy it got out of that. So we may try and experiment around with that, see what we can get, but I really think that truck fits that bill. I think it bridges a gap between a family vehicle and a family of outdoor enthusiasts. I think that it covers all those bases, anything that you may need with that. It has tremendous capability, tremendous options that go along with that package. So I really hope this video has been informative to you. I really appreciate Paul Murrey Ford over in Kaufman, Texas, giving us the opportunity and loaning us this F-150 Tremor to check out and spend the day with it. You know the deal. I got to ask a favor really quick. We're well over 100,000 views on this channel. We need subscribers. So please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, hit that bell notification so that you're updated anytime we update content. And as always, jump in for another ride.